Hey there, YouTube. Welcome back. We're covering Africa now. We're going to jump into some South African news here. Calls for, I thought this was appropriate to line this up after the UK news. South Africans call for UK to return diamonds set in crown jewels. So, I mean, this is just a constant thing. A lot of countries would like the possessions stolen by the British Empire returned to them. I don't see a good goddamn reason why they can't. It seems like it's a ridiculous power thing, and it actually with the UK being in such a fucking position, such a fucking, you know what I'm talking about, position. It really does make it just look all the more desperate and pathetic. You know, just desperately holding on to your ill-gotten gains from when you were an empire that could actually fuck a country up. And now you're incredibly dependent on on the rest of the world for your safety and security. Like, look, just get over it. Get over it. You're not the empire of old. And I know that's very privileged of me to say as a person who was born in America and currently lives in Canada, so I understand that as well. But at the same time, I don't have any nostalgia for this, beautiful British Empire, and I don't think you have any right to hold on to stolen possessions. And then you have the fucking gall. Then you have the gall to take your stolen possessions and put them on a little little crown. Oh, look at me, I'm so goddamn important. Oh, look at me, I stole this from a country. What you gonna do about it? It's really, it's like, well, you're a fucking weenie. All right, so let's dig into this. By the way, this is Africa News. Make sure you check it out. Looks really cool. It's nice to see a news network dedicated directly to Africa. We see Al Jazeera, DW, France 24 doing Africa segments, but it's nice to see a whole. Yeah, it's useless pomp, exactly. It's nice to see a whole news network dedicated to Africa. All right, so let's jump into it.
The coronation of Charles III has revived calls in South Africa for the return of the world's largest diamond, the centerpiece of a scepter that the monarch will hold at the ceremony on Saturday. The 530-carat diamond, known as the Star of Africa, was found in British-ruled South Africa in 1905. 2 years later, it was presented by the colonial government to King Edward VII for his birthday. Many of the diamonds were set in the crown's jewel, and the others were given to other members of the royal family. Since the end of the apartheid, there have been regular calls for its return, each time more urgent, as during Queen Elizabeth II's visit to the country in 1995.
So beautiful. She's clearly better than us.
An online petition urging King Charles to return the diamonds has received over 8,000 signatures. The return of African artifacts from former colonial powers has intensified in recent years.
Man, I'm awestruck at just how much, how more important these royals are to just like regular fucking chumps like you and me, right? I mean, it's like they're better than us, right? They just are. Moving on over to Rwanda, subject not too many Twitch streamers are talking about. Rwanda over here. Families grieve, count cost after floods, landslides kill 130. I would like to reiterate once again that, of course, the West could be doing a whole lot more, but a subject that really does go under discussed is the rampant corruption of local and national governments in a lot of these African countries. I got to say, it's really quite shocking that it's just totally normal that a mayor of a small little village would just be pocketing all the money instead of building core infrastructure. And that's just how it rolls there. And you got to bribe anybody to get anything done, and nothing's built up to any kind of code. And and of course, irrigation and sewage systems are, and electricity and all these other things are just wildly ignored. And I feel like I want to see more accountability and responsibility, to some of these, corrupt leaders in Africa and in these African countries. I mean, anyway, let's dig in here.
Dozens of coffins laid in town just before they are laid to rest. This village in Rwanda is distraught. Many here are grieving for loved ones and their destroyed homes. Powerful floods and landslides since Tuesday have tore through Rwanda and by Wednesday it had left at least 130 people killed and many thousands homeless. This shop was the way for me and my husband to help our family. Now we have nothing. We're here and alone. Our life has stopped because we have nothing to eat. Because the roads are blocked, it is difficult to find food elsewhere. Our houses are destroyed or flooded. For example, my house is completely underwater. In short, we are desperate and without hope. In Rubavu, another district badly affected, survivors were coming to grips with the scale of destruction. But overall, the western province bordering Lake Kivu is reported to have experienced the worst devastation. Our houses collapsed at the time when we were supposed to pay the mutual health insurance. But today we are no longer able to do so because we used to get money from the sale of vegetables from our animals. Everything is now gone with the floods.
I think I get what he's saying.
Africa often suffers
Jesus, look at that. Man, it just ripped through it. And look at these shacks, you know, I guess that's, you know, some masonry and whatnot, but damn, man. Damn, it really doesn't take much. It really doesn't take much to change these people's lives. And I feel like the world has taken enough from Africa. You know, I feel like it would, you know, if we could help Ukraine with a tiny fraction of our military budget, you know, surely we got some to shave off for Africa, right?
Deadly weather during the raining seasons. Experts say extreme weather events are happening with increased frequency due to climate change.
And, you know, and of course it's fully justified and the correct thing to do to be helping Ukraine, you know, so don't think I'm diminishing one for the other. I'm just saying it's like, you know, I mean, it's shocking to me. All these rich people, these rich nations, they have all of this power and resource, you know, and it's like, why not splurge? You know, where you're not even pocketing the money most of the time, you know. I mean, it just seems, I don't know. It's not even your money, you know. It's not coming out of your pocket, you know. It makes you look great as a politician when you're helping other countries. Is that it? Is that it actually doesn't matter if you're a politician that helps Rwanda? Is that it? When we help Africa, it will probably be one of the best places on earth. It could be. I mean, it should be. It deserves to be. Cradle of fucking humanity, for God's sakes. Malians, I'm sure I'm saying that incorrect, promised referendum in June on changing the Constitution. Let's check this out. I think this isn't Mali. Is it Malians?
Malians have been digesting the news that there's finally to be a referendum on whether to update their constitution on June the 18th. It's supposed to move Mali towards civilian rule after a military...
Wow, check it out. Newspapers. Remember those? Holy smokes, look at all these different newspaper companies. Dang, cool. I remember newspapers.
Junta seized power in 2020. It is possible that the campaign for the referendum will be successful in Bamako. But as far as the interior is concerned, such as in the regions, districts and villages, it is not feasible in such a short time.
Welcome back, Helder Rose.
With the biometric card, enough Malians have not received their cards. And for the success of the referendum, we must at least be sure and convinced that Malians have received their cards, so that the mobilization that the authorities and Malians want will be a total success.
The
military junta has come under pressure from the regional bloc ECOWAS to return to civilian rule. It's also turned to Russia's mercenary group Wagner to defeat the insurgencies after rejecting Western help.
Holy fuck, that's right. Wagner's out in Africa. They're in Mali, dude. Holy shit. Oh my God, how desperate do you have to be? Uncle Sam, get your ass in there, man. We can't send in some goddamn Marines to help out. We gotta let them depend on Wagner. Come on.
To return to civilian rule. It's also turned to Russia's mercenary group Wagner to defeat the insurgencies after rejecting Western help.
Rejecting Western. That's right. They reject. We were pressuring Canada to send in the troops in Mali. That's right. That's right. Okay, so that's right. There's been a lot of African countries getting closer to Russia because Russia's like, hey, we'll give you oil. We'll give you the cheapest oil you've ever seen in your fucking life, buddy. You know, we need every country on every country on our side. If we could just form some kind of coalition against the United States
to defeat the insurgencies after rejecting Western help. The electoral file already exists. We're not in the process of taking a new census. It's just a matter of cleaning up and then reintegrating those who had not reached the age of 18. But this file exists. We're not reinventing it. So it's just a matter today for those who have corrections to make on their information on the identity card to do so in a new enrolment. Or those who do not will have their national identification number card generated as a biometric card. But even if the technical aspects of the referendum...
We're talking about biometrics? Man, these people need fucking plumbing. What the fuck are you talking about?
...do work, Mali's vast size and skeletal road network makes staging it very challenging, even without the insurgencies in the north.
I don't know what he was drinking. I bet it's actually delicious, though. Well, there you go, folks. That's my African update. Sorry it's not longer. I will consistently try to bring up Africa in the news underground because I do think not enough Twitch political commentators are talking about Africa, talking about what's happening in Africa and all these different regions. I think the more we talk about it, the more we can pressure our Western leaders to get in there. And it's not every intervention needs to be military. 95% of it doesn't need to be military, right? Because that's, well, we like to send in cops and soldiers and stuff, but we don't want to send in diplomats, peacemakers, guys that could really come in and like, hey, we'll build you a bridge, we'll build you a hospital, we'll build you a school, but you gotta vote for this guy. Right, like this guy is the guy that's going to actually, that kind of shit. Right? Hey, African politician, you want help from Uncle Sam? Tell him, you vote for me as a vote to get all this shit built. I don't know diplomacy. I feel like we should try something else besides pointing a gun and sending in people with guns and shooty bang bangs. Am I crazy? I guess I'm crazy. The only way we can fix things is if just with fucking guns and soldiers, right? I feel like there are other solutions. I'm clearly not a diplomat. I don't fucking know. But goddamn, is really the only solution strap someone up, fucking shooty bang bang, kill people? Really? You got to ask yourself, what motivates a man to pick up a gun in his own country, and victimize his own people? What's the economic and education and other situations that create a person like that? No one asks themselves that. They just go, yeah, he's a monster. Rip him up. We don't ask ourselves what creates monsters. Thank you, YouTube. Bye.